In the midst of the ever-glittering splendor of Buckingham Palace, where centuries of royal history reside in every corner, a new and somewhat unsettling narrative has emerged. It has shaken the royal world and caught the attention of not only the British public, but the international media as well. Prince George, at the tender age of just 11, made an unexpected and rather startling statement about his future, a revelation that has left royal watchers questioning what this could mean for the monarchy's future trajectory. Was this merely the innocent musings of a child growing up under the intense scrutiny of the royal spotlight? Or was this a sign of something deeper, a realization of the immense responsibility and legacy awaiting him? This revelation is perhaps even more shocking given George's age. At only 11, he is still navigating the joys of childhood, playing with his siblings, enjoying family outings, and going to school. Yet, despite the normalcy of his everyday life, Prince George's existence is anything but ordinary. He is second in line to the throne, a position that carries with it not only the burden of royal expectations, but also the weight of history itself. From the moment he was born, George's life has been carefully shaped by royal protocols, public appearances, and the ever-present media spotlight. Unlike his peers, George's future is not defined by personal aspirations, or the freedom to carve out his own career path. It is dictated by the responsibilities of the crown. The revelation made by Prince George has only fueled speculation and intrigue. His words were not just a simple childhood remark, but a potential glimpse into the future of the British monarchy. What did he say, and why has it caused such a stir? Could it be that the young prince is already beginning to comprehend the scope of his destiny and the duties that come with it? And what does this mean for his future role as king? Prince George's childhood is far from ordinary. While other children his age are focused on schoolwork, hobbies, and friendships, George's life has always been framed by the traditions of the British royal family. From birth, he has been surrounded by unimaginable wealth, privilege, and the promise of a future that will see him take on one of the most important roles in the world. Yet, despite the luxury and grandeur that come with being a member of the royal family, George is also burdened with a responsibility that most children could never fathom. The pressure on George to live up to royal expectations is immense. He is constantly under the watchful eye of the media, with each of his public appearances scrutinized by the press and the public. Every moment of his life is captured in photographs, analyzed, and dissected by commentators, who are eager to see how the young prince is shaping up for his future role. And yet, for all the attention and adulation that come with being part of the royal family, George is still just a boy, a child whose natural desires to explore, play, and learn are shaped by an unusual set of circumstances. Despite the constant pressure and the weight of his royal lineage, George has managed to retain a sense of normalcy. His parents, Prince William and Kate Middleton, have made a concerted effort to shield him from the harsh glare of the public eye. They have allowed him to experience moments of childhood that many children of his age enjoy, playing sports, attending school, and spending time with family. In many ways, Prince William and Kate's efforts to provide a more normal upbringing for their children stand in stark contrast to the way previous generations of royals were raised. They have sought to balance the royal responsibilities with the desire to allow their children the freedom to grow up with a sense of individuality. However, as George approaches his teenage years, it is becoming increasingly difficult to maintain that balance. His life is becoming more public, and his future role as king is becoming more imminent. At some point, the freedom to lead a normal life will give way to the heavy responsibilities of the monarchy. And as much as his parents try to protect him from the pressures of royal life, it is clear that the young prince is beginning to feel the weight of his future role. To fully understand the significance of Prince George's unexpected statement, it is essential to consider the way in which his father, Prince William, has approached parenting. William's own childhood was shaped by the intense pressure of being the heir to the throne. He grew up in the public eye, with his every move scrutinized by the media. Yet, despite the relentless attention, Prince William has always been determined to provide his children with a different experience, one that blends royal duty with the joy of growing up as a child. Prince William's mother, Princess Diana, played a pivotal role in shaping his views on parenting. Diana's approach was radically different from that of previous royals. She believed in exposing her children to the real world, far beyond the confines of royal estates and private events. She took William and Harry to hospitals, homeless shelters, and charity events, showing them the importance of empathy, kindness, and understanding the lives of ordinary people. This philosophy of teaching her children to be grounded in the real world has had a lasting influence on William's approach as a father. As a parent, William is deeply aware of the delicate balance between providing a sense of normalcy for his children and preparing them for their future roles within the monarchy. He wants George to understand the significance of his role as second in line to the throne, but he also wants him to have the freedom to explore his own interests, pursue his passions, and grow into a person who is not defined solely by his royal status. William has said in interviews that he is committed to raising his children with a sense of independence and individuality. Yet, as George grows older, this balance becomes increasingly difficult to maintain. As Prince George matures, it is clear that his parents' efforts to shield him from the pressures of royal life will become more complicated. He will inevitably begin to understand the weight of his future role, and the expectations placed on him as a member of the royal family will only intensify. While his parents can provide him with love, guidance, and a sense of normalcy, George's future as king is a reality that cannot be avoided. The revelation made by Prince George has sent shockwaves through the royal family and beyond. What exactly did the young prince say, and how did it come to light? The details of his statement are shrouded in secrecy, but sources close to the family have confirmed that George made an unexpected comment that left many wondering about his growing awareness of his future role. While the specifics of what he said remain unclear, the very fact that George has expressed an understanding of the responsibilities that lie ahead has sparked speculation about his readiness to embrace the duties of the crown. At just 11 years old, it is remarkable that George seems to grasp the gravity of his future role. His comment suggested that he is no longer simply a child playing in the royal sandbox, but someone who is beginning to internalize the expectations that come with being a future king. The nature of his statement has led many to believe that George is not only aware of the public attention that comes with his position, but is also beginning to understand the personal sacrifices that will be required of him. For royal watchers, this is a pivotal moment. Could this be the beginning of George's journey toward accepting the mantle of leadership? Or is it simply a fleeting moment of youthful reflection? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: Prince George is beginning to realize that his future is unlike that of any other child in the world. Prince George's upbringing is a reflection of the ongoing tension between tradition and modernity within the British royal family. The monarchy is an institution steeped in centuries of tradition, but it is also an institution that must adapt to the changing demands of the modern world. This balance between maintaining royal traditions and embracing the needs of contemporary society is perhaps best exemplified by George's upbringing. As second in line to the throne, George's life is carefully orchestrated to prepare him for the immense responsibilities that will one day fall on him. But as society continues to evolve, so too must the monarchy. George's education, public appearances, and interactions with the world outside of the royal bubble are all carefully considered. His parents are torn between giving him a traditional royal education, one that prepares him for his future role as king, and providing him with the tools to navigate the modern world. This dilemma is one of the defining challenges of George's upbringing. How can the royal family preserve its traditions, while also ensuring that George is prepared to lead in a rapidly changing world? As George grows older, these questions will only become more pressing. He will be expected to carry the weight of the crown, but he will also need to navigate the complexities of a globalized, media-saturated world that is very different from the one his ancestors knew. As Prince George matures, the question of how he will approach his future role as king becomes increasingly important. Will he embrace the traditional responsibilities of the crown, or will he seek to redefine what it means to be a monarch in the 21st century? The future of the British monarchy depends on the choices that George makes and the path he chooses to follow. His future reign will be shaped by his upbringing, the lessons he learns from his family, and the values he adopts along the way. Will he uphold the monarchy's centuries-old traditions, or will he seek to modernize the institution in ways that resonate with the people of Britain and the wider world? The answers to these questions will not only shape his reign, but will also have a profound impact on the future of the monarchy itself. As George continues to grow and mature, the eyes of the world will be on him. His every move, every word, and every decision will be scrutinized by millions. And as he moves closer to assuming his royal responsibilities, the world will watch with bated breath to see what kind of king he will become. The revelations from Prince George may only be the beginning of a long journey, one that will redefine not only his life, but the future of the monarchy.